the activities of the ministry across the areas, the districts, the local assemblies.
Mama sorry, Mama sorry, Enti enyo nyama sorry, Monke nyamo, Osho baba, Mongo fa ama. Enti enyo nyama sorry, Monke nyamo, Osho baba, Mongo fa ama. Hey, hey yeah, da 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 da. Hey, 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 hey. Wombo, wombo, wombo. Hey, go. Hey, hey, hey.
For the here for Mama Honey, praise the Lord, the BMPW trace where the radius is so a man what you acquire to another segment, a Bromo various places are more. Send your show program of Pen TV, yes, now streaming a live of the Church of Pentecost official Facebook and Pen TV official Facebook. Now say yes, our DSTV channel 367 and Go TV channel 214. And the baby we are when you bush and you'll be or Ben one person follow program with, but only if you are then a dream and will be following between the various social media platforms now. Obetimi e de amano no no so wadi achi na February discussions nso no e koso no the WhatsApp number enso beto screen na fe wo question bi a opesa wo de ba na contribution bi obetimi de afa WhatsApp number no so na ye be ready na ama discussion aboy nan afi ye dan penifo one na mo so the program we bring every Saturday from 12:30 to 1:30 any production team what Pen TV and I can say Yankopon Israel na ombo nyina wo ho ban no ma hoden a apomuden wo no fendi juma eso onyankopon enim ene pese ye twetwe nkomo efa beyond label embracing ability in a world that sees disability. Next week youth ministry week. Now with the collaboration of the youth ministry week, as I say, discussions about this topic, which is very, very critical in our today contemporary world. Now, I know that Yankopon I adoma yesa aka two guests. You know, my baby train in common. Now, near the sea, one man and a was studio, Mr. Samuel Esiama, or a special educator, and such right, the old Jolo special school. Inti ono na wedi kan baba ko na nkwaso ba inti Mr. Yamakwa papa inti yene no any another guest I tell no so be join in the course of the discussion inti won so wo question bi akwese ode ba obetime de aba na aboa yenyam afemi a me de do my di wo tiam be friend me elder Joshua Samwa da ko na fe the next person so won so a oba be boa ama discussion no aba ina amen. Mr. Siama.
Ija.
Mitia obio.
Ija.
I was bia you okay dear. Okay. And now per se you twetwe nkomo this the program we usually talk about issue relating to disability, impairment and whatever anything concerning. But the topic is very critical in today's which is beyond label. Beyond label enti say bi hu nia obi betimi aye esense nia ontimi ya na nia esi no kwan enti yada wasepa. And you have been a special educator working with children with disability and also teaching them in special school. I think you may have the experience part to share with us. Enti before we come to that topic, working with special children or persons with disability in terms of education, teaching them, interacting, how did you feel or how do you see it? What can you say about it?
Yeah, I see. Each year, for any Pentecost for we are finding in each year, and then chance of free job social school at the bread I'm working with children with disability. To me sometimes I am a it's a kind of fun.
Kind of fun. Okay.
Yes. Because there are a lot of things yen na ye wo wiase mu no ene ekristofo ene ade ye mu no enigye yenya obia ne ba bi onya na enigye fi nanso se woni usua de na unya hwehwemu no se de wusi pe no na e ma enigye sonko bi ba wo nti se woni sa nkwala wetia aya na e de enigye sonko eba wo esanse nipa isusie mu no aya na mu nsusie bibi fa ya mofra ye ho but esanse sa mofra no nyame aye omo sonko nti ene sa enipa ku no nyame aye omo sonko so woni omo ye na afi hu ade a woni panimu a emanigye
wow yeah the radius enti ene a topic ne ye label beyond embracing ability in a way which is what they call disability. Into you can label, they will come to beyond label. Okay. What are we trying to say? Into you better the label on the first. Okay. Now for you better beyond label. What can you say about it?
Since most of me tawon quality, I am me back to your level.
To the level.
Yeah. When we talk of label, let's take for instance that you are going to a shop, you are going to a market.
Yeah.
Yes. There are tins, there are cans, and a whole lot of things with labels.
Labeled, yeah.
And no, sa label no ma identify at the crowd.
At the crowd.
The same thing, no. Say you hear in terms of disability. Labels, there see bibiano. You can say they are sometimes educational or medical terminologies and you use
to represent
a condition.
The condition. Okay.
And then when it comes to beyond the label, now as an example that I used, you share label na and the corona or cotton. But at the Kobe womb. Sometimes you don't focus on the thing inside. You only focus on the thing outside. That is the label. And then we select what we want. But sometimes we don't think of what is inside. So beyond label, she say at the Kobe wo ebimu. Say say the chronic yehwehwe. Enye de ye atale ne ho no mo na say say yehwehwe. So talking of beyond label, I would say each individual is having a unique ability, potential. But sometimes society we just cover those things and then focus on what is outside without looking at what is inside.
And if you could the practical example you are giving, let's take something like a milk or in a drink. Okotwa. It's not the container you
want,
but what is inside.
Yes.
After taking what is inside, you throw the container away. So, per what we are saying, what is inside us is what is very important or critical. We have to embrace it, but not necessary what is outside. So, what are some of the practical labels we have given to persons with disabilities? Which may be negative or positive. Okay. And the negative, how are we going to take it off and turn it to positive?
Okay, let me start with the positive aspects. Okay. Yes. The labels that we are talking of might be some of the challenges. Some of the conditions. Like autism, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, hearing impairment, and the others. These are some of the labels we have attached to some of the things. Okay. The Inter-American Positive say these, they are medical or educational terminologies. They are so that we can identify. And then the positive aspect, it helps us to locate maybe a resource, a solution, or identification for that kind of condition or behavior. Now, the negative aspects is that it's about how the community we are living, they take that thing for. The moment you say it, autism, the moment you say deafness, then there is a kind of mentality behind that changes the person's perception towards the individual. And then, so if we want to talk more of it, then we have to go into beyond, or go beyond what is inside the person. So the positive aspect is what I said, but negative is say sometimes we don't focus on the potentials. What the person can do or the person cannot do. We don't focus on those things.
Is it different from perceptions people have towards them? The label, is it the same as perception?
Yes, in a way they are similar.
Okay.
Yeah, because the perception, and when they did that label, Eba.
Okay.
Because how do I see you? You say,
Ye nipa.
Then, yes, me ne work aside, talk to you like this. Say, Sansona, can I imagine her? And I say, a dog is here. How do I perceive Saboy? My reaction, and yakasa, it be a bear high, call, see, that kind of communication, but me no work aside. The perception is
different. It is the perception in leading to the labels, which is very critical in a. Okay. Indeed, the topic is we should embrace ability.
Yes.
Yeah. So, if I may ask, why is it important to look beyond and embrace ability?
Okay. You share any power. Every individual is unique. We all have our abilities, what we can do, and then what we cannot do. So if you want to embrace ability, then I look at Kofi, what can Kofi do? I look at Amma, what can Amma do? And then Yao. Then I take this, what Amma can do, putting aside what Amma cannot do. What Kofi can do, what Kofi cannot do should be put aside. Then we bring that potentials the individual is having together. And then together we form a community that I think it will help develop the nation and the church as a whole.
So how the ability or the potential in persons with disability may differ from that of person not with disability? Are they the same?
Sometimes disability, we can say, to understand it, like I say, diversity.
Diversity, yeah.
You are you, I am me.
Yeah.
Yes. What you can do, if we take it that from that point, this is what you can do. So I am differently abled.
Okay.
The mean to me, I mean. The mean to me, the same applies to you. What I can do, maybe you cannot do. So if you are embracing me, then you take the positive, what I can do, and then you do, you put aside what I cannot do. In that sense, it means you are embracing or accepting what the person is having, rather than looking on what the person cannot do.
Okay, thank you very much. The next one is, how can young people help create a more inclusive environment for persons with disabilities?
Young persons.
Yeah.
I will start with how young persons, some of them perceive those with disability. Some think I can jump from here to here. Kofi is physically challenged, but he cannot do. So inclusion is coming so that we all accept ourselves. So Kofi intiminya, I should accept, which means label na first or perception na me woma Kofi. I should put that perception aside. Na me accept it like Kofi enwe. What can I do to support Kofi to see that young person, apart from there are a lot of things, which is sports, in communication, a whole lot. But me as a youth, what can I do to support
Yeah.
such individual? That brings the inclusion. Because may come any pana then abata me ho. Me many pana be a part of me. Na mati ni pana si. Me ho si ni pana say na otie. E de na metimi aye e de aboa enipa no. Say me na me was a situation ma how will I do it? But yes. Say na metimi anante se bia mentimi nhuri we. But e de na metimi aye e be a support. Let's say we have a cap cat, a person within a wheelchair, maybe on TV movie. As a youth, what do I do? Because maybe the church is having that rail around that kind of stuff, but still maybe the person is not having the strength to pull himself. What as a youth do I have to do? I have to embrace the person and put myself into that person's shoe and see if I were in that wheelchair, can I do this?
Or how do I expect people to do too?
Yes. What will I expect people to do for me? That is it.
Wow. God bless you. Somebody wants to know, you being in the field of a special school or education, what are some of the barriers you've noticed by somebody just want to know? Which we need to talk about it, but
the barriers in here, also. I will talk about a few of them. One is about language.
Language.
Yes. Language and Kofu use about it. So in my area, mostly we play around some of the football fields around us. And because my school was our area, sometimes I just want to listen. Identify most of my child or Hannah and yes. But I be with them and just listen to their comments in the school.
For the school, okay.
And then sometimes, because that's my school job, especially is designed for the intellectually disabled. But you will see people who saying, quote, he said, a Jimmy for the school.
That's what they use.
Yes, sometimes. Then you have to.
They say it openly.
Yes. Sometimes these are some of the words people use about. Another challenge. So, it's still about the labeling. Sometimes people come into our school to donate, but their reaction towards the kids. The Kaiser will be free USBD in the birthday, and then you're born ama Yanqualan. From who said the another person or teacher on Mumushu.
Almost.
Yes,
that's the Mufran.
The Nipana University, yes, on Mumushu. And who say a Nipano at first not the BBR 23. But buy now, who said, yes, and Unqualawi, then now they are getting such a rainy penafi in whom Sanya man, this are soon Sadian, a rain. I dear back with language.
Language.
Yes, language. Language, I have one barrier. Because what I say, a Jimmy food, the moment Taubeka, Sal Lebu, Nadia Tosono, Ubia one, that perception and your quality. Say, school idea, Yama. Yes. And so say any panel on also to me, I did be a owner or no soon to me. Because young colleague be in coloring pan art, be moyade. Be mostly Mosai. Sometimes they be bar your choreography teams, they want to join. But you see, say their movements. Any panel of person join the movement in Timinian Qualan, it is a one Timino or money. As I say, a plan or ability be a young focus on. But as I say, usually languages be the bata and Qualano, a day society not at the 2 on 3. Until you see our terminologies now, mostly a dear a hydronic barriers in the doors. The doors being so. You bet me, I can say some challenges in the ABA will be and so about apart from say perception na wanya edi ama nipa no edi ama school no yes so obi bawa ya nsusuye ni nneɛma bi a ɔmo busa efiri hɔ no ɛkyerɛ sɛ baabi nipa no ɛso wɔ etirimupo bi ɛma yɛfa yɛ mmɔfra yi ho ti ɛno saa no duadum na ɔne nipa no di communicate ho sɛ nipa no wɔ a wrong person ti nneɛma na akɔyɛ society na nkasa barrier baako no yɛ society how will they accept the kids that we are training
the acceptance
acceptance will be a key thing.
It's not easy. It's not easy because teaching in a school and you'll be labeled in quotes before school. And Ghana, we have a long way to go, but I think say through some of these programs, you know, it will shape our mindset or perception. Now, baby, I say, you do what na aboye now. So, how does the inclusion education benefit everyone? Inclusion education benefit, and not just a student with persons with disability.
I know I am for baby.
Okay.
Sometimes we be say be inclusion yeah they are supportive or or you're disabled. And so I am antisa. See be a young and I are quite sorry. Now your project be the to yen screen so. And car it new pan to say a day bois be a on tea near air cost. Then so you and I want be a team. A walk out. Unti be a Bible can unti. Nimum dear, ya projected at two screens on
and OT
and now only focus. I was so. It is just a did be a young. Say, ye the ball ma, ye na, ya see ye disabled. Ye mum cry benefiting more because a added to our advantage. It could be a mean to me, meeting me a kind me tea, and my son's why then, Eddie, I can. It's not just a nipa na no so 18 all her screen no enyam fa so bebree free the dia to screen so you hear some of the things like say bia kept cars say for people that be bit me issue wheelchair crutches no dia nanti so saa ne mai e bia ye ko en airport nya dia dia which means obi kura ne bag or the saa ne mai fa so simple say society na nkasa na nye anema ya design for inclusion and yet one now you disabled and can benefit from it. You mum yena kasano so you benefiting more if we are and your man.
Which is very critical.
Yes.
Okay. Now me ensure okay. Be person what role does language? I even say what can say one of the biggest and label barrier no language. In terms of what highlighting on most part. And language in Sweden say very powerful.
Very good.
Very, very powerful because whatever you say, in a urani panitimupen necessary no very difficult. So how can we, you being special educator, now we knew say one of the key barriers what they call kind of say language in a bar. How does it affect the child with disability? And so what can in general? How does it affect the child with disability? Say be able to tesa in some way, be and someone say oti. Now I catch them. And if you Ghana have run in practical sense, we be a wab of Fred Bukura. It me can't say be in so bad and so forth. Now, saying as I name and them say a cough from Kakaba is still there. Yes. It is say be a one year above Franam, and I watch a above Friday and say above Fredway or in so bad above Fredway or Boson above Fredway, so and so. Bonnie be an mamma and so for an answer. why we are teacher there because of your experience and academic background you may be able to manage it, but what will be the effect on the child with that disability and even the parents?
Language say me can say and you may mo can and I hate especially young boy child when we hear such words I affect you in a way.
Yeah.
But Kwalano so a way effect to Kwalanos. Medin Kwalana po a bayan into two. Yen honor.
Okay.
Say me have a mofrana say a collabi you should wear the beer. A haunty at the Macolabia. The Aqualani si fan a fan. And who say, I see Aqualano,
I see Abufra,
and I any yapa. Ye ba languages now, in say Casa, it would to me, as you said, you have power.
Yeah.
Casa, a bit me, once and your mammy, a bit me, I had two pa, and a bit me swappy jaw. And he said, "O come before be one." Na say, "A yen ya, a affecting panel." Mum say, "O can de motivating pana, a pigeon panel so man, Nanijipa, ah, but for we are due, I dear we do by art." And so, yen society, the balabos na language near use. As a thank you to me, I say, "Ah, Kufidi, Utimia, dear BC." Is could feed on Timmy, could feed on Timmy.
Then obey me, I
then obey me. Sa Cassana, Yakikana, Anna, a hand column. Yes, a bon column, and column a more near lowest team. Ubun say, ah, a cartoon team, I could twin, there's a media mean to me, mean to me, a ma, a polani cassa, a maddy, a was a waka, a faqualano, a hand a papa. The hair our phone so our for family. Our for a doyama, say my woman in the banner. Na Wakache me basset me baby, when you Jimmy and answer what to see and assist. And so a hat of Mamma and our phone crown, and so a hand upon until language away effects power, your more friends should be the meeting like a ma more. Estimate about
service
cry perform because at the end of our cafan, I didn't care bunabum. I didn't care bunabum. Name so assembly a bit pija palano
and also a pajama.
Young quality show my dear. Motivate you bring in what is inside, you bring out what is inside them. If you motivate them, like you were able to do this, you were able to do that. Ah, oh yeah, mommy 5. Because one motivating, you see language the motivating now. Oh, they were born. Na kwala na tenase. Empo ye na say nye disabled. Say languages be say empire so a. Aya say ye si hu ne sefa. Na fa ye nwi ne ma kwala na o ye disabled no challenge. Enra ye enra na me ne ma abofra ba ko bi. Ye ade bi. Yesua omo GS the accessibility app be aba. Okay, so say they supporting children with learning difficulties. And now I was some of them more frano find through to ICT. Now I listen to baby to me handle. Na me wo akwala call cerebral palsy. Or that challenge. Na nsa na de so no o se no bit o ye ne sia na obit mi aye but na obu ne ho abam
abofra na
nkasa na obu ne ho abam later wa fem hwe ne nim na ne show ba nti o se mi teacher na magina akwala na nam na me hwe se sa akwala na language ben obi betimi ayusu afa no ho a o de wuntimi ye yes ebe ha akwala no etimi fa no na me de ne call assistant head office. Your mammy be a friend Ferida Bedri, our software engineer.
Okay.
And also was our challenging. I'm going to show home mammy. Some mammy was our challenge, ya will be. And so, and you come most of the softwares I designing in banking Ghana ha maame di mu akotene. So what what you cannot do no oyiro ho obetimi ayeden aye me hu de na ono akotena ho afei wape way a no obetimi di so language is use no I have effect
Beko mu insema wo bia ka egu no so ebetimi aye from the home the society everywhere wo then na obetimi aye and so forth and sometimes the effect ma instance so the pan say the way abofra no be feel the way obe act and sometimes in the relationship with others which is the language now will come are very, very important. Say you share your kasa yepa any our attitude towards persons with disability. Now hope on why easy. Okay, I tell you what another guest and so abainti you be corner Mr. Johnny Kojo Hayford. I know you disability advocate. Ahanti ono so wabeka yensa nti ye bekọ no ho Mr. Johnny
so
ma we are talking about look beyond label, embrace ability in a world which sees disabilities, and young bra I see am waboye pa wakaka kanema bebre. But meba be also with different beyond disability, what is labeled as advocate, Then I what and then I way. Now if we are now fe yaba what be your question yan what role does what can the language play? What can we or how can the name young person with disability who inspired you? You are going to give us some of the examples of persons with disability, especially young ones who might inspire you, whether in Ghana, outside Ghana, your professional field or working in the church or wherever. And over to you.
Thank you, Osofo. I want to express my utmost gratitude to the viewers.
Yeah.
Well, if you say label,
yeah.
I sometimes play devil's advocate. Labeling is good.
It's good.
Very good. We label for medical purposes. We label for social intervention. But it becomes a problem when we define the person with a label.
We define the person
with a label. So if I'm labeled as a person who uses wheelchair, what must be done? I must be given a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Now, if the wheelchair is something which is making me not get the right accommodations, the appropriate technology to the community, that's where it becomes the problem. Disability, as we say, is not inability, but a child is never disabled, but the community disables the child.
The community.
I once met a deaf person and he said he's not disabled. And I said, why? He said, he asked me, do I speak Spanish? And I said, no. So you're also disabled. You see the argument he was bringing about. So if the label defines the person, that's when the challenge comes in. We can see beyond the labeling if we appreciate and understand diversity. Inability is all anchored on diversity. A Siama may have a different color than I, or so you may have a different complexion. But regardless of the complexion, what can we do? That's we appreciate diversity. Even in disability, we call something heterogeneous. There's no true and same disability. In every disability, there's a peculiar and unique ability. So if we don't understand what they do, appreciate their diverse needs, it's very difficult for us to look beyond these things. And attitudinal barrier is the most predominant factor cutting across our field of study.
Especially in Ghana.
Yeah. We see them and we say, oh, to me yet. Then we push them away.
Then I'll be to me.
See, at that point, we always put them in a category where we have this model, the charity model of disability.
Charity model of disability, yeah.
Oh, or in the into
Yembuano. Yankasamano.
On Tassemity, Yen say,
yeah.
Oh, to me, and for Santi, Yempejano.
But object na Yepeja.
So how do we quantify these people? It's all about our mental consciousness. How can we change it from now? So I think that's the main anchoring of labeling.
So how do you think we'll be able to at least manage this label, especially when it comes to Ghanaian society?
You know, it's I have to go back to our forefathers.
Okay.
The conception they sowed into our mind. Before I came to university, when I see a deaf person, I try to put a leaf in my mouth and do this.
It's true.
That's
it's
what
true.
we were told
it's
from
true.
the onset. That means you are insulting them.
It's true.
When I came to learn sign language, I realized it has no implications, zero meaning. So where from these thoughts? If a child has cerebral palsy, epilepsy, autism, their child is from the gods, from the water. It's a curse. When you look at the Bible, they just ask Jesus, the child is blind. Why? What's the cause?
What happened? Is it the mother
or
the father?
He said, no, so that the God's name will be glorified. So it's passed up to the mental consciousness that has been embedded into us. So we conscientize our mind. This thing will forever go on. No matter the training, the appropriate technologies, whatever, since our mind are not trained, are not eradicated from these thoughts, it will be persistent. That's the only way, our mind.
Do you have persons with disability who have inspired you?
Yes. There's this guy, Samson Jivo. He has cerebral palsy. When I tell that the things he's doing, the advocacy, the empowerment he's doing in his own fraternity, it marvels me. And I came to school, Sylvia came to meet me in school. She's a deafblind.
Sylvia?
Yeah, student.
Okay.
That's my first time encountering such person. Like, wow, how? I asked myself, how did it happen?
She can't see, she can't speak, she can't.
Like, how?
How?
Then I was told it began from a stage to a stage. Then she had this multiple disability. But Sylvia didn't let that disability corner her. Sylvia has her first degree, and I'm hoping she will come to their master's maybe next academic year. Sometimes it's not about how we can qualify the attitude. What you can see is how the person is managing through these barriers. They are litigating. Sylvia may not achieve anything significant as now, but the milestones she has passed through from the nursery, kindergarten, JHS, SHS, to the university level. Also, university staying for us is not easy. But you can't see. Even we that we see, we struggle.
We struggle.
She can't hear. We that we hear, we sometimes encounter challenges. How more her is having these two
or three.
So I see that and I know I can do better.
Yeah.
So these people inspire me a lot. I don't want to go to the foreign sector. No.
Yeah.
I'm a local person.
Yeah.
Their director, Juventus, he's a lawyer.
Wow.
It's not that he had the opportunity to hear what's in law school. No. He was assigned an interpreter. Through his law career, he's having these abilities. There's a professor in K University who is deaf. And these people inspire us. They're able to do more.
Okay. So you are an advocate or activist for persons with disability. When you come to Ghana, what do you think should be our focus when it comes to advocacy for persons with disability? Because I know that the Act, I think 2006 is there.
715, yeah.
Yeah, it's there, but because of legislative instruments, we don't, it's there, but it's not there. So what can you say about that?
It's something that has to do with, as a legislation.
Yeah.
We are living in a country where persons with disabilities are making law for persons with disabilities.
Persons with disability
are making laws for persons with disabilities. We see disability to be very broad, but age could lead to disability. A person who may wear spectacles may have a bit of disability, but they overlook these things and they try not to put themselves in the shoes of these persons with disabilities. Those are with the severe and profound. So we understand the needs of them. No law can factor them. When you go to the European countries, they have disability parking spaces allocated for them,
for car.
where disabled people walk. The first time I went to Germany, I got knocked down by a bicycle.
You got knocked down.
By a bicycle.
How?
The lane I was walking, I didn't know for person with disabilities.
Oh, really?
It was a brown brick lane. I was walking on it, didn't know. And the man just hit me with the bicycle. That is my lane. So they've given them their rights allocations. They know they hardly cross the streets. What do? They give them their separate pavement. We go to the roads and we park anywhere. Laws are not governing these things. Do we take into consideration those who use, I don't know what the name, but a tie and they'll be wheeling in the highway? Do we factor them? We do walkways and we stand to sell on them. Are we considering this factor that these walkways were deliberately for persons with disability? Last week, I saw an overhead. Is it around Spinters or something? For a person with disability to cross that overhead, he must be physically fit because it's very steepy. So, when a person using a wheelchair, how can a person gather more strength just to navigate this? So, the legislation in this country are not effective enough. They're not addressing the conscious needs of the person with disability, no matter the laws. So we enforce them in the country to know the appropriate ways, appropriate technology, appropriate needs for all these persons. We'll go round and round and when we achieve zero.
May God be with us.
Sure.
And I think it is well. Gradually we may get there.
Yeah.
But may not be now, but surely we'll get there. I want us to look at how disability or RAMS or whatever looks like in our various churches, in schools, communities, and institutions. So I'll start from you, then I come to you. So what does inclusion look like? Inclusion, when we talk of inclusion, how does it look like in our churches today, our communities today, our working institutions, and even the nation? Practically, how does it look like?
Thank you. I think how we see inclusion is different. Even though the church is supporting, they are doing their best. I think in most of the modern structures the church is building, you see all those disability-friendly things around that make movement and all other things support inclusion. But I think it's not enough. We can do more to support. In our schools, yes, most of our schools are old. They are very old. And then I think the best to do is to restructure the school system and then structures so that it can accept these kind of learners around. Because if you look at some of the schools, like a school, let's say a school under tree.
I want practical.
Yes, a school under tree. Those schools, you ask yourself, can this kind of classrooms, you can enter into some of the Ghanaian classrooms which are untapped, and then you see how movement will be if, let's say, someone who is physically challenged, a cripple, moves around, dusting themselves and a whole lot. So the inclusion we take, I think we are doing, the school and the church and the community, we are doing it, but I think we have to do more to support them.
Senior, our churches, community, workplaces, and even the entire nation.
So before I answer this question, I will ask, do you know there are laws for boarding in the country?
Laws? Yeah, I know.
But the question is, how many of our infrastructures follow the gaps, the Ghana Accessibility Built Environment?
And the estate companies and so forth.
Inclusion is not just about physical infrastructures. We have content-wise too. If you go to our schools, the curriculums, that's for the UDL principle. UDL is a universal design for learning, the universal design for learning. It has three main categories: the multiple means of expression, presentation, engagement. We factor them in our educational content. Content-wise, we are not being inclusive. As Charles was, Esiama was saying, the environment. We have the ramps. Sometimes some ramps are very steep that we can't even.
If you don't have a car, it's okay. It's true.
Some ramps will lead to hurting a person with disability. We don't factor all these ones we don't take them into consideration. So till we understand that if you are creating a pathway for persons who can walk, alongside there should be a pathway for a person who uses wheelchair. Alongside for those who are blind, because these two people are the ones with the mobility challenges. A person who is blind, a deaf, can totally see and walk. But how about a person who is blind? Are you not going to arrange the person how to count steps before the person gets to his or her sitting position? But the availability of a ramp or a blind walkway, it's very easy for us to access the environment. And inclusion is mostly on three things: the community, the individual, and the school. The church part of the community.
Yeah, yes, the church is
For
part.
Church of Pentecost, I know they are doing very well, very, very well. They have interpreters, MPWTs. Now, other churches are also adapting these strategies. It's good you're a pioneer. You are setting the pace for other churches to follow. But the question is, how fast are we accelerating this pace? How fast?
Consistency.
I once told Pastor Yami, Pastor, if you can't do it, stop it.
We can do it.
If you can't do it, stop
We
it.
can do it.
He said, Johnny, we'll do it. I said, no, but you are keeping long. We are moving at a slow pace. Now, if you go around the community, the persons who are redundant. They have no aim in life, no church, no school, nothing. As our social responsibility, what do? We have to bring them into God, and God make sure that we are educated. Bring them into education. Even education, give them a skill. I always ask my friends, if the school doesn't pick, what will you do? School now for obeying. A skill is very important. Sewing, hairdressing, these are part of inclusion. We are involving them in their lives. You know, ICF define disability on three main anchors: activity limitation, participation restriction, and impairment. The moment I can't partake in my environmental activities, I have a disability, which inclusion is not covering me. The moment I can't even brush my teeth, there's a problem. So these are what inclusion is. Not only about the physical norm. How you can make this person impactful in the community. That is also inclusion. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I like the statement he made that concerning each factor in disability. I know many people who are now aged and they are in wheelchair.
Yeah.
So somebody said that. So we have less than 5 minutes. So I'll give everybody 2 minutes. Then what do you want to say concerning this topic? Label, beyond label, embracing ability in a way which is disability. The Casa Bonetofa summarize this. Then what will you say and what will you tell the whole world? Label, beyond label, then your thoughts to all stakeholders in A. Then I'll come, then I will conclude. So if you have any acknowledgement, I move on.
Thank you once again. The labeling, I would say, as we first talked about, their negativities and things society perceive or attach to an individual.
Yeah.
Now, what I would say is that now society should go beyond that.
Society should
Go beyond that. Yes. What should they do? The individual you are looking at is having a potential in that, in him or her. That let the person perform an activity that you cannot even do. So attaching such labeling on them, I think it's now we have to put a stop to it and look at what the person can do. For instance, maybe you see a child who is disabled. You don't say, Kofi, what do you do? No. Or what can you do? No. You address the child. What do you love to do?
What are you doing?
Yes. What do you? It's kind of things that languages we use that embraces the potentials in that child. And then I'll be to me, I can do this, and the child will also do it for you. So now I think that society should put all those negativity and see a person as you are a person having or differently abled. You are differently able. You can do something that I cannot do. If you put that mindset in our mind, then it means we are bringing all people together, because this can do creativity, arts. This person can do this. This person can. We bring this together and we develop a nation and a church as a whole.
Thank you, Mr. Siama. God bless you. Yes,
So, well, I'll anchor my submissions on two main theories.
Okay.
We will call something the presumed competence.
Presumed competence.
We pick disability holistically. So if that, as Mr. Siama was saying, we don't have to identify or ask the person a limitation question, but what can you do? So if I picture a person with disability, I see that he or she may have a disability, but beyond that disability, what is his or her potential? That is where the Pygmalion effect comes in psychology. It says that if you put higher expectations on someone, it increases productivity. But if you put lesser expectations, it diminishes or reduces expectations. So till we put them on a level or a pedestal where they themselves believe they can achieve in life. So we do that, they themselves wouldn't know their worth, because a person with disability already has a dysphoria, already looks down upon him or herself. Assuming we are all working and I don't have a good leg, do you think I'll run after you? No, I'll isolate myself. That's the first state of a person with disability. There's dysphoria. So till we embrace them and acknowledge them that they can do this, they'll never reach their full potential. So it's up to us to make sure we don't limit a person with disability. We make sure we give them the utmost functional ability to endure.
Thank you, Mr. Fulbert. Okay. Okay, here for the action for that was a pie. There I had the MPW with the tree, no Abedu, and then Mr. Johnny Kojo Hayford, a disability activist, and Mr. Samuel Esiama, a special educator, Joe Special School, and I actually train for beyond disability, and beyond label, embracing ability in a way which sees disability. My boy with a lot of insightful presentations. And the best year, Yamia Duma next week, you best out to us to say yes, one back. Until then, you go on way in I hope bye bye.
Mama sorry, 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 da 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 da. Wombo, wombo, wombo. Praise God. Me mama sale, akoneni, abedina, wobediala. Me mama sale, akoneni, abedina, wobediala. Eti endo nyama sale, ungenyamo, oshubaba, mungofa ama. Eti endo nyama sale, ungenyamo, oshubaba, mungofa ama. Ha, wumbo, 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 da. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hallelujah. Ha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah. Yeah. Oh. Me mama sorry. Akone, abediana, obediana. Me mama sorry. Akone, abediana, obediana. Enti enyo nyama sorry. Unkenyamo, oshobaba, mungofa ama. Enti enyo nyama sorry. Unkenyamo, oshobaba, mungofa ama. Enti enyo nyama sorry. Unkenyamo, oshobaba, mungofa ama. Me mama sorry. Akone, abediana, obediana. Me mama sorry. Akone, abediana, obediana. Enti enyo nyama sorry. Mukenyamo,